Isabella Greene here. Today I would like to talk to you about the sense of smell. The subject super dear to me for many different reasons. And that sense come in many different varieties, and there are many aspects to the sense of smell. And so let's take a look at a couple of these today. First, let's take a look at this psychic sense of smell. And there's a word for it, clear something, but I could not pronounce that at all. It makes me want to say clear sentient, because that makes sense, right? The scent, but no, that's not the word. Google it. There is a word for psychic ability that has to do with smelling things. But I've had that my whole life. And only recently, things that have been happening my whole life, recently I'm started to find explanations to them that are out of the metaphysical field, because before I just thought it was just weirdness. So here, psychic sense of smell. I observed it play out in the following way. Like when someone thinks about me, for example, I all of a sudden can smell them, and they could be on the other side of the world, but it smells, it feels and seems like, whoa, as if that person just passed you by and you just caught a little smell or something, the scent or the feeling that is translated through idea of smell. It's like as if you can smell that person in the room or somewhere around you. Also, when there is presence of any sort that is non-physical, that I'm unable to observe with my eyes, or even with my third eye, that I'm not really getting the visual, but I can smell them. Not always a good thing, but. So that's the clear something sentience, let's just say, the ability to psychically perceive presence or thoughts or people's focused attention that is not right in front of you, or not in your physical, not in the vicinity of your physical senses. But the ability to perceive all of that through the sense of smell, or the brain translates these messages into the sense of smell, and then you have to say, wait a minute, who does that smell like? Oh, it's that person. Oh my God, really? And then a minute later or a second later or that same instant, like a message comes in, right? And you're like, right, yeah, so that person was just writing to me or thinking of me, about to call me, and then I smelled them. The smell arrived before the actual physical proof of that did. So I have that developed really strongly, had it my whole life, and a lot of other people do too, but not always. The people are not always aware that that's going on. Also, being able to smell the frequency of things, like food, for example, right? When it could be just so amazing, the food, in description, but you smell it and you just can't eat it. So the frequency of that food is not matching what your body needs, or it's not matching your frequency. And that got developed in me going forward in my life. I didn't always used to have that, but now I have that very strongly, that the products that I allow into my body and also in my field, in my vicinity, I can tell whether they are in alignment with my state of being or not through the way they smell. And it literally just, there's something in the brain just goes, there's some ingredients in here that I don't want, or that don't work for me and not beneficial to me. Same with people, interestingly enough. Same with people, the people might not be wearing any fragrances at all, But when they come near you, or near me specifically, like I'm talking about myself here, right? So as an example, I always talk about myself, but it's always an example for you guys to say, yeah, me too, you know. So these are the subjects. I use myself as a guinea pig. That's why all my videos are about me. But it's a general subject, you know, subject of smell. So the people come over or show up in your reality or sit next to you in a restaurant somewhere and might not be wearing any fragrance at all or any kind of scent, but you just go, yeah, you know, and it translates like a sense of smell, as if they don't smell well, but if you really were to use your real nose, like your real sensory organ that sniffs things, you know, you go smell them that don't smell like anything, but you get in that feeling. So that's the another psychic smell ability. And then also what's interesting is we'll go into fragrances and even essential oils, or the different types of scents that people are attracted to. That can tell a lot about the person too. And for me personally, that's a very intense subject, because anything that's artificially created, even the essential oils too, I can only take just maybe about a handful of the kinds of essential oils. The rest are just not comfortable for me. And conventional fragrances, we know how much. I can literally almost smell every toxin that's in there. So for me, it's like, stop it. Have to move, have to get out of here. But yeah, and you can tell a lot about the person by the way they smell, and also by what kind of scents they are attracted to, which is also interesting, because it's a frequency match. They're matching their frequency with what they like, and you are matching your frequency with whether you like and what they like or not. You know, that's kind of funny too. And then going into just the regular, mundane, standard sense of smell, well, I've observed that if I cover my eyes, close my eyes, and cover my ears, let's say I have like headphones on and the music is playing, so my sensory organs that are scanning reality are blocked, you know, my eyes are closed, my ears are covered, my sense of smell continues scanning reality. If someone walks in the room at that moment, I can tell that someone's in there. Or someone like even walks through the house, let alone in my room. Let's say I'm in my room behind a closed door and I'm meditating. My eyes are closed, my ears, I got music playing or guided meditation in my ears, and I don't hear or see anything. But I'm aware that my roommate just walked through the house because I can smell him behind a closed door. And no, he doesn't smell it like anything. He doesn't wear any perfume or any kind of stuff like that. But that's the sense of smell that I have. And then also, I observed that when I was walking the dog a while ago, that when it would get dark and I didn't want to use the flashlight, and just I like to walk through a dark street, you know, and I guess my eyesight is not the greatest in the dark, and so I'm walking. It's kind of walking with your eyes closed, and don't really hear much because it's quiet. You know, it's nighttime, and I'm walking through the street. But I can tell what goes on in every house. I can smell the gardens and the yards, and if you actually stop and focus, then you can smell every separate leaf on every tree. I know I can. And I think, and I've practiced and I've played with that, you know, I could focus and smell every separate object in the room if I desire to, and that would create the picture of my reality. Meaning you can bring me in the room and have me there with my eyes closed and my ears covered, and after a little, like if I walk in with my eyes closed, right? After a little while, I'm gonna have a picture of what's going on in the room, where the furniture is, where the garbage can is for sure, you know, just from sitting there, because my sense of smell kind of puts everything into images. So I can tell what's going on. And walking the dog, I could tell what's going on in every person's house along the street, you know, what they're cooking, what they're washing with, what's going on in their yard, how long ago they watered that lawn. And it's very subtle, but at the same time, this is how my brain collects reality, brings it into my awareness. So on the sense of smell, right? Probably that canine connection with the origin, like somewhere there in my soul stream, I have the Syrian canine connection, canine humanoid beings, and I always had very strong. Oh, my first power animal was a wolf, and then it transitioned into a lion, and had a very strong bond and love for all canine type of beings, the dogs, and I think that's probably, that sense of smell is somewhere linked to that lineage, to that soul type somehow. Well, just wanted to share that with you. So if you think that you're strange with your sense of smell, well, you know, take in my story. Let's compare notes. Let's do the high five. Yeah, me too, me too. Alright guys, thank you for listening, thank you for tuning in today, lots of love to you. Please come back for more videos every week, twice a week, Thursday and Monday, and sometimes in between if I feel like it. If you'd like to have a session with me, IsabellaGreene.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, help me grow. Lots of love to you. Namaste.